Yeah, because you supported all those years, 6 years of hard work, right? Working your ass off, and now that year is, man, awesome, man. But it's never happened. Freedom never happened here. And there's a thing called survivor bias. It's when let's say in World War II, the people that survived the war have a biased opinion on it. They'll be like, well, at least we survived this, that, and the other. So how would that translate into slavery? They'll be like, oh, at least we don't have to do that no more. And I'll get more study on that, because I just barely learned about that shit today. You want to get a scripture? You want to get a precept? Bring out some topic?
Yeah, because after the fall of the Roman Empire, it was called the Dark Ages, and then after the Dark Ages, the Roman Empire, who are the Edomites, they started coming back into power. So this is Revelation 20:1, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. So that angel was talking about Yahushua, and the bottomless pit is the area over there by Europe, all that area over there, and that's when the Roman Empire fell out of power. It says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So Yahushua came down and gave us the power to put these Edomites into slavery about 1,000 years.
Ending around late 1300s, early to the middle 1300s, early 1400s, middle 1300s, because we know for a fact that by 1492, everything was starting to get jacked up. And what the brother's talking about is beautiful, because I have a list here. This is my the Bible that has all the lists of the popes, right? But check this out. See how it has saint in the beginning? Those are all Israelites. See, for the first mostly up until the time that we're talking about right now, the Dark Ages. So they basically stopped right here. Look at it. Where's 1492 at? Okay, right here. See, Pope 214. Come on. Get it in focus. Well, anyways, it says Pope 214 was Alexander VI. So at that time, that was a straight up Edomite.
So for those 1,000 years, it was called the Dark Ages, and during that time, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites, they were in power during that time. Because Esau, he'll tell you that nothing interesting happened during that time, or there was nothing to be recorded. But if you go and find out, there was the black colored people over there
Reigning in Europe.
Yeah. Because after the Roman Empire, after they fell, it was called the Byzantine Empire.
Yep.
Okay. Now, when I Google how long did the Byzantine Empire last, it says there are many factors that allowed the Byzantine Empire to last 1,000 years after. Yep. Byzantine Empire to last 1,000 years after the end of the Roman Empire, which includes the fact that Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, was protected with walls that lasted almost the entire 1,000 years. You know?
Hey, isn't that what that scripture in Revelation said? Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't that mean that this is a prophetic book?
that's right.
Because Yahushua was on the earth when the apostles were around, and then after he passed, he went into the spirit realm with his body intact and everything. He got beamed up in a chariot. Then he gave John the vision, and that's what John was talking about right there. So this is a prophetic book, man. I can't stress that enough. I mean, I'm trying to publish it to you. That's a prophetic exercise right there. That was prophecy happening. The prophecy was happening.
And let me get that definition for serpent. It's a Strong's G3789, and it says the serpent was an emblem of cunning and wisdom. It says the serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Jews as the devil. Okay?
Ooh.
The serpent who deceived Eve was regarded by the Jews as the devil. Okay?
Wow.
So the Jews, they knew that this Edomite, he's the devil, you know?
That's devastating for me.
You know?
And that's why you white people say, oh man, put that Bible away. Can't you just forget about it? That's why you guys walk across the street. Hey, and I'll let you know that there's a spiritual connection going on. Because as soon as I thought, I'm going to ask this cracker over here a question. And he got into that car that would have that fish emblem and the Greek letters, pi and epsilon.
That's the fish god is Dagon.
Yeah. So he would have gotten himself into a nice little conversation. He would have went home and thought. No, I don't know what he would have thought. I can't even say that because
No, he just would have got mad because he would have knew that this isn't for him.
he was like, damn it, I love everybody. Yeah, I bet you love putting us in slavery. But let me get this in the Book of Micah, chapter 2. So after when the righteous are empowered, you know, the people are happy, but when the wicked are in rule, they groan, right? So this is chapter 2 in the Book of Micah, and this chapter title is called Social Evils. Verse 1 says, "Woe to those who plan iniquity and work out evil on their couches. In the morning light they accomplish it when it lies within their power." That's the Renaissance period. That's what this brother's talking about right here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So these Edomites, they got bound for 1,000 years, and in Revelation 20:3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. So after the 1,000 years were up, after the Dark Ages were up, that's when the Renaissance came back into power, and the Edomites started coming back into power.
And you can bet, you best make a good bet that that's when he took everything from you. He sent you to the fucking mountains, to the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, that's why they call them Caucasians, because
They were cavemen, basically.
they're in the caves.
And we're just touching on that right now, but next week we're going to get into it. Hey, but that's how, that's how you do a good sermon. This week we're talking about a little bit of what we're going to get into next week. We're, how do you say, we're building up to it. because all these evils that happened after that empire, after you know, the dark ages, then this Edomite, the dragon, was back in the power. And you can best believe that homosexuality was coming back. Hey, this is how you know this place is wicked. Look at all the things that are happening. Because during the white man's rulership, he did some crazy things. Slavery, like, man, just the things that he did that was unrighteous. He fed our babies to alligators, raped our women. There's a thing called prima nocta, which is when a man marries a woman, the lord or master of that area gets to have sex with that bitch for the first time. That's what one of these fucking Edomites did in what the brother's explaining. The so-called Renaissance era. You got a little bit more?
Yeah, this is Revelation 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So that's the beast, who is the Esau and NATO and the EU, and their power. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were like as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him power and his seat and great authority.
It's talking about all these Edomite nations. The leopard represents, what's his name? Alexander the Greek. And all those other animals represent the other nations. Because what's Russia known as? Russia's known as the bears, right? And all these animals symbolize power. Because you don't want to mess with the bear. Look at the bear on the flag of California represents the power and strength that this government has over the people. And it's basically saying, Mexicans, get the fuck out of here. And today, when I was on my lunch break, I was driving home for a little quick meal, and there was a song on the radio called Speedy Gonzalez Go Home. I don't know if that was a name, it was an old song, and it was talking about Mexicans go home. And that was an oldie and a goodie.
It says, and his seat and great authority, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So when it says, as I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, that's when the Romans, they went into the Dark Ages.
That's when they started going into the Caucasus Mountains.
And his deadly wound was healed. So when he got healed, that was through the Renaissance, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Like, where the fuck did this motherfucker come from?
Damn.
Where the fuck did this guy come from? Who the fuck is this? How come this guy's in power? How come this guy has all the gold? Oh, and the Catholic Church has a large reserve of bullion, of gold. And it's really run by that black pope, what his name is? You know what the black pope is? Because you think that these churches are telling you the truth. They're not telling you any truth. They're not telling you that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Lord's chosen people. They're not telling you that you're going to be kings on earth. You're going to rule this planet, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Even though right now you're in a fucked up state, all messed up, doing drugs. homosexuality, living foul, and nobody wants to ask, what you guys doing? Not, I mean, not our people. Our people sure don't. Edomites will be like, hey, what are you doing? Get a little more on that.
And all the world wandered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
And that power that has given unto the beast is military strength. Man, if you think about it, Esau has everybody fucking scared, but they're starting to be not scared. Yeah, because Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that's something to wonder about. Like damn, that motherfucker is mean. Look what he did. And now he has, and that was an atom bomb, not a thermonuclear device, like they have now, which is more powerful than that. They got some crazy stuff out there, which is still making people wonder. That's why do you think the United States spends so much on military? Their GDP is mostly 55% military. They got all kinds of bases around the world. They have to keep up with the technology. They have to be the intimidating force. Go ahead.
It says, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Yeah, because the dragon represents the military, and the beast represents the banking financial system. So the finances are backed up by the military power. So the money we have in our pockets won't be worth the damn if the United States military fails. You see how that goes hand in hand? Man, and this is just, and we're just giving you the basics, man. We're not getting too deep. We're not getting deep at all. It's just the basics. It's just the basics, man. Beautiful, beautiful milk. And one of those things that makes you wonder about this Edomite is how he treated the Native Americans, Negroes, and Mexicans and Latinos up and down so-called Americas. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 2. They covet fields and seize them, houses and they take them. Let me read that again. They covet fields and seize them, houses and they take them. They cheat an owner of his house, a man of his inheritance. And that's what this devil does. Because when he put you in captivity, he had to whip the Israelite out of you. And through those generations, you came back. By the fourth or third generation, you didn't know who the fuck you were. Starting to get darker a lot sooner. That lets you know that that fall is coming. When fall's coming, that lets you know that you can understand the climate, the times, right? Like it says in the Bible, you can understand the times of when the winter's coming, but you don't understand when the Son of Man is coming.
So this is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Hey, that's why you crackers walk around us. You walk by and you see the Bible, and I'm speaking in a low tone. I'm trying to be mellow. I'm trying to actually reel you in. Oh, this guy is not mean. I'm not really mean. I'm just passionate. So you guys walk around us, man, and even our own people walk around us.
I was saying, just by looking at us, we look mean. That's why they walk around us.
And that's not what they're scared of. They're scared of the Bible. Scared of the Holy Scripture.
Yeah, they're scared to get condemned. It says, whom Yahweh Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Dang. Hey, and the power of Satan is almost up.
So it says, even him whose coming is after the workings of Satan. So the Edomites, that's speaking about him, because he's the one that has the power, he's the one that has the workings of Satan.
Hey, let me get this for you right here. This is verse 3 in Micah chapter 2. Therefore, thus says Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, behold, I am planning against this race an evil, from which you shall not withdraw your necks, nor shall you walk with head high, for it will be a time of evil. So after this guy's time's up, man, guess what? Yahushua's gonna come back. We're gonna be in rulership, and that's gonna be bad for you, because look up the word evil. It's not gonna be a good time. So what's the Lord planning for you? And he could be planning something for everybody. He is planning something for everybody. He's planning the kingdom for his people. His people are gonna get the kingdom, but someone's gonna have to build for it. Someone's gonna have to build it. And you crackers keep having those babies, because those babies are gonna build our kingdom. And I'm not gonna feed them. I'm not gonna feed you. I'm not gonna feed your wife. I'm not gonna feed your grandma. I'm gonna make you guys fight for a meal. It's gonna be fucking bad for you. Go ahead.
So the definition for evil is profound immorality or wickedness or depravity.
Now get that word depravity. Because I may be wrong, but I think that means take away, right? And we're gonna take away. We're gonna take away your comfort. Your comfort zone is gonna get taken away.
Actually, depravity is moral corruption, wickedness, a very evil quality or way of behaving. An evil or immoral act.
So yeah, I stand corrected. There's nothing wrong with being corrected. Now I know.
So these Edomites, since they're after the workings of Satan, they're the ones who are the most evil.
They're depraved, huh? Oh shit, we just learned a new word over here. You Edomites are depraved. Depraved, okay? Now this is verse 4 in chapter 2 of Micah. On that day a satire shall be sung over you. You want to get the word satire? Oh, there's going to be something sung about you. Because that doesn't sound like it's going to be a good song. Hey, and all these birds lining up on this wire, they're going to get their fill of your carcass. That's going to be during the time of Jacob's trouble, and there's going to be a lot of Edomites to eat, and a lot of 2/3 to eat. A lot of everybody, all the nations are going to get fed. Eaten on. Go ahead.
This is the definition for satire. The use of humor, irony, exaggeration, or ridicule to expose and criticize people's stupidity.
Damn. I'm going to be singing songs about you. And there shall be a plaintive chant. Our ruin is complete. Our fields are portioned out among our captors. The fields of my people are measured out, and no one can get them back. Thus you shall have no one to mark our boundaries by lot in the assembly of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So that could go two ways. That happened to us, so now it's going to happen to you. It's got to happen to you. And these birds are hungry.
So you know we're talking about the destruction of America.
Hey, want a water?
Going back into the Renaissance, when Esau started coming back into power, Ezekiel 38 and 11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely. All of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates.
So easy prey, right? Easy prey.
So that's talking about America, you know, because they were safe over here. They were, you know, we were at rest.
Yeah, because we didn't have no form of protection. We didn't have those.
There wasn't walls.
We didn't have those those bad missile defense systems. We didn't have the 5G network. We didn't have the satellites protecting us with espionage cameras. Nobody was watching out for us.
Well, it says, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, that dwell in the midst of the land.
Hey, and that's talking about this country right here. Because at one point in history, there was nobody living here. Nobody. And then King David started sending, a little bit before that, there was Navy ships coming over here. But then King David was like, you know what? I'm gonna take ownership of that shit. Because he was a conquering man of the Lord after his own heart. So he had Navy ships, and they went to the Americas, which was called Authorative at that time, to collect gold, silver, and fowls and gorillas and all that stuff. But no man dwelt there. Then after a time, when the Assyrian captivity happened, and even during those times when King David was sending ships over here, people were leaving the Navy and just staying there. But that all happened. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and so when Esau came over here and took over this land, he took away the peace. This is Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and the power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. And that it says the horse that was red, that's Esau. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Man, we're not in peace. There's wars going on there. There might not be a war you can see going on in this land, but there's wars going on against your manhood, against your what you believe, against your faith. They're trying to separate. Man, they're doing all kinds of wicked stuff, like on TV. On TV, for reals, they program you, right? So you watch the channel with your program, and let's say they're enforcing, not enforcing, but putting it out there that, you know, if you want something bad enough, you can steal it. Anything contrary to the laws, right? Well, you can sleep with another man's wife. Women can preach.
That's why the TV, they call it, they say, I gotta watch my program, you know?
Or they call it the boob tube.
Because television, that name, it's tell lies to the vision, you know? That in that word, it's tell lies to the vision.
But that's all you people want to hear is lies. You're like a bunch of women. All you want to hear is lies. Oh, I bet you they love watching white Jesus on TV. Kissing everybody, hugging everybody, telling everybody it's going to be okay. What if they actually showed what the Lord was really about? Okay, because sometimes when they show you those and it always happens around so-called Christmas. They always show the nativity movies and the crucifixion movies. And they'll show one time where he flips the table at the temple, right? At the money exchange. And they're like, oh, he was just a little upset because he was doing this. No. He was always upset. Hey, somebody could have just got killed right now. What's that old saying about guns and shooting bullets? If you hear it, it's not for you. So we heard it. We're going to get ready to close up. Well, the light's going away. It's getting and when it starts getting dark, more demons start coming up. So you don't want to be out here when demons are driving. And this is chapter 7. This is Mark chapter 7 and 6. He responded, well, did Isaiah prophesy about you hypocrites? As it is written, this people honors me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. In vain do they worship me, teaching as doctrines human precepts. And that's doing what you want, like watching television and television being your programmer. Oh man, if they had church, they do have church on TV, and they do watch church on TV. What I don't understand about you Christians is how can you be selective like that? How can you just want to read John 3 and 16 when there's hundreds of thousands of precepts in here? All of them complementing each other, reinforcing the whole message. But you just want to pick one and then think about what you want it to say.